Hello there. Today we're talking about my personal setup for video editing. We're going to be using a few tools today. Yep, so here's the agenda for today. First, we're going to figure out how to download some clips, and then going to try to resource acquisition and some other things. All right, let's first get started. First, we're going to look at this particular tool. This is YouTube Download DLP. All you need to do is download this exe right here and put it in a folder. So this now next step is going to require some knowledge of the command line, just a little bit. I recommend installing, if you're on Windows Terminal. You can get this from the App Store. And mostly the reason I recommend doing that is so that when you're in here, so in this case, this is my videos folder, you can right click and do open in terminal, which will then pop up a little command line terminal, so kind of like this here, right in the folder that you need. If you if this is not possible, what you can do is use the following commands. First, you can do like cd, which is change directory, and then you specify the path of where your where you move the YouTube downloader.exe. So in this case, it'd be cd d/videos/ something like that. There's also dir, which then lists the files that you need. But for the most part, I'm just putting it in here. So let's see. We're gonna create a new folder real quick called just downloaded clips. And then I'm just going to so you see here we actually have the downloaded clips here. So then we're just gonna drag this over into the downloaded clips there. Open that. Open in terminal, which will then create a new terminal where you have the downloaded clips. So the yt-dlp can be activated like this. Hang on. yt-dlp. You can hit tab. If you hit enter, it then asks you some command line options. Let's find some things to edit. We can download any kind of clips. So here's the one from Instagram here. So we just take the reel right like this. And then type in like yt-dlp space open quote, paste the URL using Control V, or right click, and then and then we'll then download the video, and we will then see that the video is then sitting here. This works for many kinds of videos and sizes. Let's go look at if we wanted like a YouTube video. So in this case here, let's try to download this YouTube video here. So once again, yt-dlp, open quote, close quote, video. I take a little bit longer for this one. Is a bigger video, which is 1.2 gigabytes. If we want some cool music, maybe, so let's just do some kind of copyright-free music. Yeah, sure. All right, let's use this one. Okay. Once again, we take the clip. Specify it here. Since we only want the music and not the video, we can specify a type of file. So let's do type dash P MP3. And now once you have this, it's going to also download the entire playlist if you actually have some of a playlist option. So when we download videos, we want to make sure from YouTube we want to make sure they're like in an MP4 format. So we're gonna put -t MP4, mostly because some of the default settings from YouTube DLP puts them into like I think it's like a Markovic format or something like that, MKV, and that doesn't provide any forms of audio. At least when I drag it in by default for DaVinci Resolve. So we're gonna just load this video clip into the bin, and I usually switch it over to the third setting, which we allow you to have cuts and stuff. This is mostly just as a convenience, and I'm used to having all these different buttons and layouts. But we're then going to go over and do a quick diversion to look at how we have this set up for on the Stream Deck. All right, with the Stream Deck, we have an entire complete new page. I'm just going to go through. We're mostly using the system hotkeys section for each of these different ones. We have different items for buttons and the dials, but mostly we're relying on this one particular setting here. So you can see here in the hotkey settings, you can type your own, or they have some preset ones. We have undo, which is what you think it is. We have cut, which will then put a little cut right at the beginning of where the line is. We have select and deselect. So selecting allows you to select the current clip on the line. Deselect is going to be the one that removes from the line. We have delete and the ripple cut. There are two different ways of how we delete the particular clip. And you also have paste and copy to copy the clips. This advance one at a time, frame at a time. You press and hit play. This advance 1 second at a time, and this just zooms in and out the timeline. So now you can see we're turning the dials here to adjust our way around the timeline. So there you go, zoom in and zoom out. It's pretty solid. So normally if I have to use my hand mouse to cut the clip, I'd actually first position the little indicator right where I want to cut the clip, click on the razor blade there, and then click right on the where I want to cut the clip. Just having some technical difficulties here. There you go. Like you need to select it first. But typically what you can do is, and you can see I'm just turning the dial to right where I want the clip to get cut at. Probably right around, it's going to be a little bit. But, I'm just using purely just the dials right here. So find a spot that I really want to cut. So make sure you hit the select button to select the clip that's right on the line, and then hit the cut button. If it's not selected, it actually cuts the entire thing on the timeline. That might be helpful, it might not be, up to you. And then sometimes what I like to do with clips is I just drag it upwards to like the next, I guess the next track is the right word, just so I can separate out the clips that I want and versus all the things I'm trying to cut out. It's not necessary, but that's just what I usually do. So here we're going to demonstrate the difference between ripple cut and the regular delete cut. So what usually happens is, like I said, we want to put the cursor indicating where we want to have the cut. You'll probably see down there where I have some music too. So in this case, I want to cut it right maybe there or here. But you have to make sure you have to select the clip properly. You see how the sound gets cut a little bit by accident. That's why we always have undo. But I'm gonna cut it like that. So we want that particular part of the video just getting cut. I'm gonna cut that. You see that little video there. And then if we delete it with the ripple, it actually deletes also the things on the bottom and everything else as well. It kind of wipes out that part of the timeline. But when we just hit the regular delete button, and then just do a manual drag, that's why you do a lot more. You see the sound itself did not also get cut. So that's the difference between like ripple and the standard delete cut. Ripple is really good if you're just trying to trim up like some clips. So sometimes as you're editing, you want your clips to be in a different order. So this happens here. I'm trying to add this clip here over to somewhere in here instead. So what you can do is hold down Control and Shift, click and drag, and you can see it's actually kind of swapping the videos in place in a way. So if I put it maybe over here, I guess, somewhere like that. So now it's swapped in place. We want to let's get a bit closer to where we need it to be. So Control Shift, click and drag, and then just drag it in place. There you go. So now this video goes from this to this. Maybe a little more. There we go. Yep, so it's Control, Shift, and drag on the clip you need. All right, so the next one we usually would do maybe is I would call them like a clips for YouTube Shorts. So typically we have a video like this, which is some kind of gameplay footage maybe. But this isn't in the right ratio that we need it. So let's go here over to project settings, swap it to the vertical resolution, and great. All right, so now that we got our clip back,
Hello. I just realized I don't have any water.
Yep, so we do have a clip. That's great. So now I'm going to scroll through real quick. You can probably see down here at the bottom little audio cues when there's changes in sound. That helps out a lot. But in our case here, we're looking for, we're going to cut through, I think, all the pulls. So I'm just looking through the clips for some loud parts here. So before we make this clip, we want to make sure we have the following. This particular clip is going to have two parts. One of them is the actual gameplay footage that we're going to be seeing, and the second is going to be like an overlay or something of the streamer. So here we go. We're going to hit select here, and then we're going to make a cut. In this case here, we're going to do what's known as a ripple cut to delete the rest of them in the back. It's going to shrink our timeline. You'll also notice that it was also going to delete sound. Ripple is definitely one that you have to be very careful with on some of these things. Yeah, so first we're just scrubbing through the video, finding when the last of the clip ends. It's probably right around here, maybe.
Yeah.
There we go. Select and cut. Then I'm gonna go to this side here. I'm gonna select those. I'm just gonna delete all of it. So there we go. So now we only have this particular small set of video to work with for a clip, which is about 30 something seconds. Let's first position it correctly. So over here, we have under the inspector here, we can actually do some transforms. So I'm gonna transform it like that. Looks pretty good. And that transforms it for the entire case. So that's great. And now we need the part of just the streamer himself. Or it's him or herself. So what I would usually do is let's do a copy. So just gonna copy it with Control C. I'm gonna introduce a new channel like that. And also a new audio channel as well. Sure. I'm going to then click on these over here to unselect these. So when I do a paste, it puts it in the right channel, hopefully, but I guess it did not. Let's try that again and paste. There we go.
10.
So we see we have one in the top, one in the bottom, but you also notice that down here it also duplicated the sound. So we don't want that usually. So I'm going to just delete the track with just nope. Yep, so just delete the original track so we don't have double up the sound. Because with sound waves we have the two of the same, it's gonna just make it louder, or clips unintentionally louder. And now on this one here, on the second one that's on top, we're going to change it so that it's going to show his face. So so shift it over like this. So there he is. We're gonna zoom a little more, like so. And then we're gonna probably do some kind of cropping. So what is this? A really basic crop here. We're gonna crop all the way to the left. Gonna crop the top. Yeah, something like that. So then, since the videos are synced up,
But first things first, we have to do our free 10 pool. Trainees. I'm always gonna trainee.
okay, great. So then let's change this up so it's a bit more reasonable format for people to watch on mobile. Let's zoom out a bit. We're gonna yep, and then we're gonna move it a little bit higher. Okay, and then let's go back to his clip here and let's move it a bit lower. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, and let's fill out the rest of the video with our that we cropped out earlier.
But first things first, we have to do our free 10 pool. Trainees. I'm always gonna trainee.
Great. So okay, so we got our little clip there. Let's add some fancy noise. Let's import some media. I think I have a list of sound effects. We're gonna do the that's one here. Price is Right fail horn. Oh, that's loud. Which is
I don't even want an SSR. I just want SSR.
all right. So from here, then we're gonna. That's so scary. Loud. Add a new track. We'll drag it to the bottom right around where we want the trigger. So probably like here.
SSR. I don't want an SSR. I just want an SSR. I don't want an SSR. I want an SR. Ah.
All right, so it is a bit quiet. This was really pretty quiet in the clip. Let's do what's known as normalization on the hit this. So we're gonna right click this, normalize audio levels, which is gonna fix the peaks a bit. Sure, sample peak program, that's fine. Maybe they normalize. A true peak, normalize it, please. Okay, so now it's a little bit louder, so let's try that again.
SR. I don't even want an SSR. I just want an SSR.
That's a little bit too loud, so let's get this volume down a little bit. So
I don't even want an SSR. I just want an SSR. I don't want an SSR. I want an SR. Ah.
great. Okay, so at least we got our basic clip. And now we gotta do an export. So down here, the little rocket icon. Servo daily pull. Great. I'm gonna put this into some final clips here. Great. And then I guess I'll just select just a YouTube 1080p. add to the render queue. It's gonna take a little time to render it out. Great. And now I'm gonna then go and upload this to the Servo dashboard. So here we go. So here's our channel. We'll upload our first video. Create upload video. Select that. I think let's put it here. There we go. And then we just set our we set our stuff, and then we're about done. So at least that's with some videos for that. And that's about it.